Good morning. It is Thursday, April 9th. Welcome to another jam-packed episode of Whip Around and Find Out. Sponsored by, well, this is going to sound so good. Sponsored by the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wander Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. You know, I talk about you guys all the time. I rave about you guys to anybody who will listen. I said the W7 Nation, if I need something, it's like the bat signal going out. I mentioned yesterday on our show that we really need a sponsor to help cover this show so that we can continue doing it all season long. I love doing a daily show, and I wanted to do it all through the season, but we needed some help to do that. I immediately got 2 emails waiting for me when I wrapped up the show live on Wednesday, and both of those were, how can I help? And we were able to get to work with Darren Derricks from the Circle Tap in Denmark, which, by the way, if you haven't been, I'm telling you, the place is a destination. It really is. Great softball fields, volleyball courts. It's just a great, fun sports atmosphere. Tons of TVs, tons of food, tons of drink specials. It's a great place to go, and I love the location. It's really one of those it's a destination to get there, but boy, is it worth it. So Darren, thank you for supporting Whip Around. Thank you for your support of girl sports. Darren also is an assistant coach at Denmark as well. So Denmark has been fantastic supporting us. And so we're excited to have the Circle Tap in Denmark. And of course, if you want really good golf, go to Wander Springs in Greenleaf. Both of those sponsors, both of them coming in to sponsor and help make this show possible. Make sure and thank them. Reach out and thank them. If you're in Circle Tap, tell them thank you. Tell them thanks for being for the girls, how much it means to you, how much you appreciate it. We love to hear our fans go to our sponsors and tell them what it means, because I know how much it means to you guys. But most importantly, I know how much it means to the kids. And I'm glad that we can keep doing it. So thank you, Circle Tap Denmark. Thank you, Wander Springs. Thank you, Darren, for your support of W7 and girls athletics. Now, let's get into our show. Lots to talk about. Normally a Wednesday night of games is like, there's a couple here and there. I mean, usually it's like, a couple of Milwaukee parochial schools play, and you're like, I didn't know that they were playing. And, you don't have, I guess what I'm saying is you don't necessarily have like high marquee games. That was not the case on Wednesday. Not the case at all. In fact, last night felt really different. We had an ace versus an ace. We had offenses exploding. We had teams out hitting opponents and still walking off with a loss. And when that happens, you start to find out who teams really are. This is Whip Around, and you're going to find out. I'm Gary Whipperman. Tonight's show made possible by the Circle Tap in Denmark, where Wisconsin sports fans show up. Learn more at circletapdenmark.com. And we're starting with a game that felt like it belonged in May, late May, not the first week in April. Our game of the night, we mentioned it on social media. We said, hey, this might be the game of the day, and it lived up to billing. And that was Sussex Hamilton against Arrowhead. I'll give you the spoiler alert right away. Hamilton won the game 2-0. And so normally this week on this show, and probably last season also, I think there was a general feeling that the game of the day included, 7 home runs and 41 stolen bases and, clowns jumping in and doing, circus tricks, and really all about the hype and not about the game. Not true. Tonight, this was a 2-0 game, and it was the game of the night. And don't think that I don't love elite softball. I do. I love pitchers duels. They're so fun. And what makes them so fun is it's not the macro decisions that come into play. It's the micro decisions. Do I bunt here? Do I steal here? Do I sacrifice here? Do I shift this runner here? Do I shift this player there? Those are things that make it so fun. Do I count on my rise ball? Do I use my fastball? What about my changeup? When should I use that? Though all those micro decisions in tight games amongst elite teams are what makes softball such a great and really the best sport. So I am a junkie. I'm a softball fan. Hey, I love big high-scoring games like anybody else, but you know what? I also love a really great pitcher's duel, and Hamilton and Arrowhead gave us that last night. It wasn't just about pitching. It was control of the tempo, control of momentum, and control of the entire game. And guess who gave us a masterclass in that tonight? Bitsy Palika from Hamilton. Bitsy, 7 innings complete game, 3 hits, 13 strikeouts, and get this, no walks. How often do we see, hey, she had 15 strikeouts, but she also had 5 walks, or she had 18 strikeouts, but 7 walks? 0 walks. 13 strikeouts, 0 walks for Bitsy. And here's what the stat line doesn't tell you. Arrowhead never got comfortable. Bitsy constantly applied the pressure the entire game. And you know what? Arrowhead's got players. I mean, I don't think I even need to say that. I mean, it sounds ridiculous even trying to give you a pedigree for Arrowhead. We all know it's the U, for crying out loud. Avery Schock, Emerson Petushik, Lily O'Brien. That's not a weak lineup. But Palika forced them into late swings and guessing. And when you can get the other team guessing, good things are going to happen. Lily O'Brien, if you look at her game, she pitched tonight for Arrowhead. She kept it a game. She went 7 innings. She gave up 10 hits, but only 2 runs, and only 1 of those 2 was earned. So that tells you that Hamilton definitely had the runners. They definitely got hits, but great decision-making, great defense by Arrowhead kept Hamilton limited to 2 runs. And that's when good pitching and a great defense come together like that. That's what happens. Is you can give up some hits. You can do that and still keep the run total low because you got a defense that's elite and that makes great decisions. And that's exactly what happened. So again, just elite on all levels. I know I've probably used up my quota on the word elite tonight, but I can't say enough good things. It really felt like a May type game on the 8th of April. It could have been 6-0 easily, Hamilton with that many runners, but Arrowhead able to limit them to just 2. The turning point was in the 3rd inning. Leah Bickler had an RBI single, and why not? Bitsy Palika with an RBI. That was it. That was your scoring. But in this type of game, that's everything, because once Hamilton went up 2-0, there was no chance. Arrowhead was not going to get back into that game. And that's, we saw Bitsy at the state tournament last year. She is a tremendous pitcher. She is, for her age, she is one of the most cool, collected customers I've ever seen. She is very good mentally, very strong mentally. And you give her a 2 spot, and I don't care who you're playing, she's going to be tough to beat. And that's why, in my opinion, Hamilton may be the team to beat in Division I. I'll say Hamilton Kaukauna, because you can never count out Kaukauna, but for sure, Hamilton may be the team to beat in Division I this year. Feel of the game, playoff, like sectional game. Bitsy passed the sniff test. She has Hamilton has an ace that can win big games. Arrowhead, of course, is right there. They'll probably see each other again at, a place called Goodman Diamond in June. It was just a dominant performance. Coach Gendrich, again, you guys all know this. I'm a big Kaylee Gendrich fan, have been since she was an assistant coach at Waukesha North. She came over to Hamilton and she has completely flipped that program into a perennial state qualifier, not contender, qualifier, year over year over year over year, stacking up appearances. And last year got a win at state. Now starting to stack wins. We know what happens from there. Yvette Healy talks about this all the time at Madison. Stacking. It's all about stacking. That's what Kaylee's doing at Hamilton. So that's segment 1. It was a 2-0 game, and I'm calling that the game of the night. See, it doesn't have to be 27-24. It doesn't have to be 16-8 to be interesting. That's segment 1. When we come back, segment 2, Middleton 16, Sun Prairie West 8. You're watching Whip Around and Find Out, presented by the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wander Springs Golf Course. We'll be right back.
Jenna Nelson, our W7 Live player of the game. We do have one final question for you. Hopefully you know the answer to this one. If you don't, you don't get a Memorial Day weekend. Okay. All right. So, this is big. The whole weekend hinges on this one. Yep. All right. W7 Live, everything we do for the girls. That's right. You've been watching W7 Live.
Welcome back. Whip around and find out, presented by the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wander Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. Segment 2, we talked about the pitching duel in segment 1. This is segment 2. It's time to talk about the offensive explosion that happened tonight between Middleton and Sun Prairie West. 16-8, Middleton wins that game. So we flipped the script from pitching to offense. McKenna Utter was the tone setter tonight for Middleton. 2 home runs, 3 hits, multi-inning impact for Utter. She didn't just hit bombs, she changed innings. The Middleton lineup, relentless, 17 hits in total for Middleton. Key names from tonight: Ellie Jafaris, 3 hits and 2 RBI. Lily Kulo, 3 hits. Danica Nolte, multiple hits. Maribel Blakely, 2 RBI. There wasn't one player, it was lineup-wide pressure. Sun Prairie West, give them credit, they didn't go away. Bryn Borchard had an inside-the-park home run and 3 RBI. She went 3 for 3. But Middleton scored early, they added it on, and then broke it open late. And the takeaway on this is Middleton's pretty good. They're aggressive, and they don't stop scoring. And nights like this, that kind of offensive explosion, that's the kind of night you need to take straight to Wander Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. Visit them at wandersprings.com. That's WANDER springs.com. That's segment 2. So we've talked about pitching as segment 1. We've talked about offense as segment 2. Now segment 3, maybe the most overlooked but yet most important type: speed and pressure. We had that in spades tonight between Oregon and Monona Grove. Oregon wins tonight 9-6, and this was chaos, but in a different kind of way. Olivia Lavoie was the engine for Oregon, 3 for 3, on base constantly. She drove the offense, and get this, Oregon had 11 stolen bases. And if you look at teams that are very successful, and I'll use Kaukauna as the example for obvious reasons. I mean, their pedigree speaks for itself. You know, and I'm going in the Tim Rohrig years here. The whole philosophy of Kaukauna softball is not about getting hits and stealing bases and scoring a lot of runs. That's the result. That's what you get when you apply constant, relentless pressure on defenses. If you take a step back and look at Kaukauna, that's what they do. It's not rocket science. They'll be the first to tell you, hey, we're not doing anything nobody else has ever done, but we're going to make you think on every pitch, on every play. A simple walk could easily be the runner gets to second or third. A routine ground out could be a runner from first scoring. It's just, they wear you down mentally because you can never take a play off and say, okay, let me just think about something else. Because the second that you take your mind off that, they're gone. And all of a sudden you look up and the score is 9-0 and you're like, how did that happen? It's because of constant pressure. And that's what teams that can do that, can apply that pressure on defenses, those are the teams that are successful. Those are the teams that win championship after championship. Oregon did that tonight. Guess what? No coincidence. They went to state last year. I mean, that's what good teams do. Monona Grove had a good fight. Addison Durst, a home run and 2 hits. Kalea Nothi had 2 hits. The takeaway, Oregon wins with speed, pressure, and chaos on the bases. There's segment 3. When we come back, we'll talk about another key element of softball. This one's going to be discipline. That's coming up next, segment 4. You're watching Whip Around, sponsored by the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wander Springs in Greenleaf. We'll be right back.
W7's got it right, covering girls' high school sports all the time. 100% free, 100% live. W7 for the girls.
Welcome back to Whip Around and Find Out. By the way, I got to mention my apparel here. Let me see if I can move this microphone out of the way. So this is this hoodie. Let's see if I can. I'll stand up a little bit here. It says Triple Threat, and that is the Ketterhagen girls of Oostburg. Addie and Riley both now graduating this year. They're both seniors. And then Kinsley, a sophomore. They just won their second consecutive state tournament in girls basketball, and great friends with the girls and their parents. Isaiah is the head coach, Isaiah Ketterhagen. And I got this shirt as a gift from the girls, and I wear it with pride, and I wear it for you today to see. I know we're talking softball, but these are my girls, so I'm going to put them on and rep them today. All right, segment 4, discipline wins games, and I'll explain what I mean by that. But let me first say Muskego 10, Wisconsin Lutheran 6. This game is one of the best examples you'll see all season about discipline. Wisco out-hit Muskego 10-8 and still lost. The number that changes everything, 10 walks. Wisconsin Lutheran allows 10 walks, which means extra base runners, extended innings, and there's that P word again, pressure building. Wisco fought back. Xana Gunther hit a home run in the 7th. By then, though, it was 10-3. They got 3 runs back in the 7th. They lost 10-6. Grace Soley had 3 hits. It was a 5-run 6th inning for Muskego. More patience, more pressure, more control. And the bottom line is you don't always need hits. You just need better at bats and making good decisions. And that's the kind of game you break down after with people who understand softball, who understand sports, who speaks our language. Not everybody speaks our language, you guys. Not everybody gets it. But if you go to the Circle Tap in Denmark, you're going to meet people that know our language and that can talk to you and have conversations with you about, do I bunt? Do I steal? What about a suicide? What about a sacrifice? What do I do in this situation? What do I do in that situation? Hit the Circle Tap in Denmark. Visit circletapdenmark.com to learn more. And I'm not exactly sure. Because I haven't seen them play, I can't make any judgment or assertion here. But I got to say, I'm surprised that Muskego puts up 10 runs. And not to throw shade on Muskego, that's not what I'm doing. Classic 8 fans, relax. I'm not saying that. I am saying I know Sidney Schrader is a pretty darn good pitcher, and I'm pretty surprised that they had that many walks and that many runs. And so that, of course, leads me to wonder, is she okay? I hope she is. I mean, she's taking over for Sydney Vatonkel, who was, lights out. I mean, Sid, you could give, if you give her 1 run, I mean, that's the ball game. That obviously was not the case last night. So I'm not sure what's happening at Wisconsin Lutheran right now. But a tough loss to Muskego tonight, 10-6. That's segment 4. Segment 5, complete team wins. Well, that's obvious, right? I mean, we all kind of know that. I mean, it's all about the entire lineup. I had a coach tell me, and I believe it to this day. A very good friend of mine told me, he said, he said, you're going to think I'm crazy when I say this, but without our team managers, we don't win as many games as we did. They kept us organized. They made sure that everything was there. They made sure the kids had to think about nothing other than playing the game. They took care of it all. So I guess the point is, it does take everybody. When I coach youth football, our head coach said something that has stuck with me to this day. He said, I don't need any one of you. He said this to the players. I don't need any one of you, but I need all of you. And that really has stuck with me. And that was 10 years ago. And I still think about that. I don't need any one of you. So if I lose any one of you, I'm going to be okay. But I need all of you. You just couldn't say it any better. Well, tonight, Waukesha West gets a shutout over Greendale, 8-0. Clean softball for West. Anna Dornbach, 6 innings, no runs, 6 strikeouts. Paige Kale, 3 hits. They had 5 stolen bases, no errors, aggressive base running, and pitching control. I mean, it's not a complicated game. I know, sometimes people like to be the smartest, person in the room and say, well, you got to have these, saber metrics and these things have to happen. And these things have to happen. That's all good stuff. But ultimately, It's not super complicated what you have to do to win games, but complete teams do generally win games. All right, segment 6, when we come back, tight game execution coming up next. It was a battle in the North Shore tonight. We'll be back. You're watching Whip Around and Find Out, presented by the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wander Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. We'll be right back.
Pain's a very lonely place. I came to Orthopedic Associates because I had a ruptured disc in my neck. I needed to get it fixed as soon as I could. Life immediately following the procedure was better. I have 3 young boys. I coach their sports. I play their sports with them. So just the joy in life came back. The pain was gone. The entire standard of life became better.
Whip Around and Find Out, presented by the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wander Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. Time for segment 6, tight game execution. Slinger gets the win tonight over Cedarburg, 5-3. Chloe Wolf, 2 RBI for Slinger. Gia Miller, 2 hits. Hayes with a complete game, 7 strikeouts. For Cedarburg, Notham had 3 hits. The difference, it's finishing right. I mean, that's always the difference, is having a strong finish, and Slinger did that tonight, and that's exactly what you can get at Wander Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. Nothing like a great finish on 18, right? Finish it right. Finish 18 right. Isn't it time for golf? Hit up wandersprings.com. That's Wander, W-A-N-D-E-R, springs.com. Get your tee time set and get ready for the perfect finish. All right, segment 7, under the radar. This is a quick segment. Players to track tonight. We talked about Kale from Waukesha West, Wolf from Slinger, Gunther from Wisconsin Lutheran. Zana had a great home run in that 7th inning. And then segment 8, when we come back next, we're heading towards the big finale. It's going to be time for Who's That Girl? You're watching Whip Around and Find Out, presented by the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wander Springs Golf Course. Welcome back. Whip Around and Find Out, presented by the Circle Tap in Denmark and Wander Springs in Greenleaf. Time for probably our favorite segment. Segment 8, Who's That Girl? We've got 5 nominees for you tonight. First, McKenna Utter from Middleton. 2 home runs, and she set the tone in a 16-8 win over Sun Prairie West. What about Allison Giese from Sun Prairie East? 11 strikeouts for Giese tonight, dominant in the circle. What about Cameron Bly from McWanago? 10 strikeouts, complete game, 0 earned runs. Or Olivia Lavoie from Oregon, 3 for 3. She was the offensive engine and the constant pressure. We have 6 nominees. Those are your 5. But the winner tonight and our Who's That Girl for Wednesday, April 8th has to be Bitsy Palika from the Hamilton Chargers. Complete game shutout, 13 strikeouts, 2 hits, no walks. And again, we talked about this last night. We pick our Who's That Girl not just on stats, but also the context of the game. I mentioned to you at the beginning, this felt like a May playoff sectional game. Bitsy did this against a legit state team. I mean, these aren't a bunch of schluffs here that she had this kind of game against. And she didn't just pitch the game, she took over the game. Her team spotted her 2 runs, and she got one of the RBI, and that was all they needed. Leah Bickler got the other. Sussex Hamilton defeats Arrowhead 2-0. And our Who's That Girl tonight had to be Bitsy Palika from Sussex Hamilton. So what did we learn tonight about teams built for the grind? Hamilton, ace driven, no doubt about it. Middleton, explosive. McWanago, composed. Waukesha West complete. Oregon fast. Tonight told us everything. Pitching matters. Discipline matters. Depth matters. Execution matters. Speed matters. Complete team matters. All of those things you need to be successful. And what we need for a complete game and a complete broadcast are our sponsors, the Circle Tap in Denmark. Go to circletapdenmark.com, and Wander Springs Golf Course in Greenleaf. Visit wandersprings.com. Thank you, Darren. Thank you to both of our new sponsors. We're excited to share the season with you. That'll do it for us for tonight. We'll be back on Friday to cap off Thursday's game and end the week, and hopefully send you out on a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your guys' support as always. By the way, we have a couple remaining spots left we're looking to fill for our softball sponsorships for this year. One is the first pitch sponsor, and the other one is the fifth inning stretch sponsor and the post-game sponsor. So we have 3 sponsors left. We're trying to get this closed out in the next few days. Then I can stop talking about this stuff and we can just talk softball only. So first pitch sponsor, fifth inning stretch sponsor, and post-game show sponsor, and then we'll leave you alone. Thanks for watching. This has been Whip Around. We'll see you Friday. Have a great night. We are W7, and we are for the girls.